It was a cold winter day. It was minus 40 degrees. And we said, let's make some beer. And so we made Prickly Mountain minus 40 degree ale. And the rest is history.
I don't remember this. I must not have been there. I thought you were going to tell the story about Wendy Cohen. So, and at the time, there was no internet, there was no whatever. So he goes on to America Online, and he sees somebody who's selling a, Performa. What was it? That time was it Performas?
I think it was Performas by then. Yeah. Yeah.
Performa 475.
Somebody was selling. That was the pizza box one. Yeah. Somebody was selling a Performa 475. I think it was actually before that. Mac SE? Yeah, it could have been a Mac SE. SE30. I think it was SE30. I think it was probably SE30.
Actually, SE30 was one of the Apple's best machines ever.
Followed by the Mac 2 CI. It's true, SE30. I could have answered that question before about the best computer ever. Yeah, SE30 was an awesome computer. Yeah, especially if you got all the little additional stuff inside.
Yeah.
The extra hard drive and the
graphics card and stuff. Yeah, no, that was a winner. And then the 2 CI was next after that. I had the Franken.
So we were drinking beer, and we were trying to figure out how to buy more
beer,
hops.
And so we go on to America Online classified ad section, which right now which was the predecessor to Craigslist.
Definitely.
Craigslist and eBay. And so we bought a Performa 475, and we put an ad in the local paper and sold it.
So then we became Ad Rep Don and Ad Rep Hapy, and later was Art.
Artie had one too, yeah.
So we were, way beyond. We had the Craigslist way before they were there. We used to go on and police and make sure that people weren't posting the, computer in the printer section and that it was legitimate and things like that. You can only post 3 days, 3 times a day in each section and things like that. So we had free classifieds. We got free classifieds. You had to pay. What was the cost? Like $1? I don't know. Tacked down to AOL. So it was pretty expensive. So anyway.
So we're buying machines there. We're doing the ad rep thing. We're buying and selling now on there.
What about the auctions? We haven't talked about
We haven't talked to the auctions yet.
When was the first? Do you remember the first auction you went to? Yeah, I actually do. It was in Washington D.C. And
I decided I should go down to this auction and buy some Macs. Went down there, and I had like 5 or 6 credit cards, and I maxed them all out. I bought $30,000 worth of Macs and rented a truck in order to bring them back to Vermont, and was freaking out. I said, what are we going to do with all these Macs? And of course they sold right away. And so we started going to auctions literally, 3 or 4 times a month.
Yeah. We used to, I wanted to tell a funny story about Don. Ow! I don't know why it's so funny that you're hitting yourself.
I don't know either.
But anyway,
this was our bidding paddle.
After about like a week of
Don,
Don,
825 bidder number 825. It even has chalk, a chalk holder, and chalk. I'll put that back and hit my head again. Excuse me, Ham.
During this time,
try not to hit my head.
Don had finally gotten like credit card authorized, so he was actually processing credit cards from people. Before then, they used to have to send him money to get the machines before he shipped them out. And so after like processing one credit card, Don calls me up. I was working at a company called Kia Technologies, which was manufacturer of software, and he calls me up and says, "I can't figure out how to do this balance of my books." And literally, there was like 2 transactions.
It was all part of a plot. You know that.
Couldn't figure out.
It was all part of a plot.
He roped me in to come in on Saturdays and like balance his checkbook. Because he had no idea how much money he had.
Well, yeah, and after 5 or 6 transactions, it got pretty complicated.
It did get a little complicated, especially since you were doing them. So that went on for a little while, and we kept on selling more and more machines, and then got some, every time we go to an auction, we'd buy more and more stuff, and we were, doing a lot of this, which means take them all.
Take them all. And at that point, instead of putting down the Visa and MasterCard and $30,000, we'd put down our American Express, and it'd be $400,000, and we would just be amazed. We'd give them the American Express, and it would go ching, 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 and it would, we'd have $400,000 worth of computers.
Yep. So that's the story.
That's the story.
Founding of the computer, of Small Dog Electronics. But yeah, the first time we actually made the business though. Really, I mean, obviously selling computers was great, but we didn't really start get going until we convinced Apple to let us become an authorized retail store. And even though we were at the time the business was way up on Prickly Mountain, we convinced them that we were gonna sell a value-added solution, which was to include QuickBooks.
QuickBooks, right? We were gonna do QuickBooks for people.
And so they authorized us to be a reseller based on the fact that we were selling a computer with QuickBooks. And I don't know, how many machines we actually sold with QuickBooks.
I think there was one. But the real business plan all along, from the time Artie joined the company, was we're going to do this for a little bit, and then we're going to open a brewery.
It's true.
It's true. And I continued to make beer, but nothing was quite as good as my Prickly Mountain minus 40 degree ale. Good stuff. I have the recipe.
I don't really know why you think that that's related to Small Dog.
It's totally related.
It's not.
It's totally related.
No way. I think you made it the year before.
No.
I think you can look it up, and you'll find.
I can look it up.
It was made.
I have the date. I have the date. I have the date. I have the recipe.
I'll bet you that it was made in '93, and not '94.
Maybe.